Everyone can take good video some of the time. And with practice, some people can take good video most of the time. But a professional will take good video every time. So how did I become a professional? 3 reasons really: passion, persistence, and practice. It all began in the winter of 2000, where Tammy and I flew from California to Rhode Island. We went to find a house big enough for our family of 6. We had barely 3 days to find a place that we could call home. So with a video camcorder in one hand and maps in the other, the 2 of us raced from listing to listing for 3 exhausting days. I must have videotaped every yard and every kitchen and every basement and every bedroom from Wakefield to Wampanoag Trail. Then it was back to California to pack up all of our earthly belongings. The company I worked for was moving its offices to East Greenwich, and we still didn't have a place to live. Every night that week, the 6 of us watched those videos on TV of each house to decide which one we wanted to call home. I thought it was going to be sick, and the videos bouncing across the TV screen weren't helping one bit. We finally did end up purchasing a beautiful home in East Greenwich, just a few miles from the new office. And after we got settled, at the insistence of my wife and our 4 children, I began to practice how to shoot smoother video without relying on a tripod. Well, soon after moving to East Greenwich, we enrolled our 4 children into every seasonal sport that was available. I soon became the volunteer videographer for the football team, the dojo, the soccer team, and even band class, in addition to the video I was producing for my work. When the football coach at Warwick PAL League, who also taught the video classes at NEIT, put me on the sideline camera, well, that began a relationship that lasted 7 seasons and several championships. I filmed the Warwick PAL Patriots in the rain, and in the sun, and in the snow. I learned how to hold and turn a video camera as though my body were actually the tripod. And I learned how to position myself play after play where I would have the best angle on the action as it unfolded. By the time our sons and daughters were in high school at EG, we had the best films in the league, which helped us to win even more championships. So, what is the secret of smooth cinematic video? Even though technology has changed dramatically in the last 20 years, most of the techniques are still the same. We learn to walk and move in the smoothest way possible. We isolate the camera movements from shaking and unwanted movement, and many lenses that I have built-in image stabilizers within them that reduce sudden movements or vibrations that can ruin video. The tripods we use, they have hydraulic dampers built into them, so every camera move is as smooth as butter. We also use gimbals for keeping the camera steady when we move the camera around. These have built-in gyroscopes and motion sensors that further isolate the camera from any sudden movements. Well, before we ever start recording, the director always yells 3 things, right? Lights, camera, action! Lighting is crucial to any picture or video, and it can work for you or against you. The skill to get the lighting right and the skill to get it to work for you is as much of an art as it is a science. There were even football games where EG High School was the visiting team and the sun was in our faces, and the opposing coaches would allow me to film in their home booth with the light behind us because they knew that I always shared game footage with them and that EG had the best game footage in the entire league. It was my hands-on experience shooting video in natural lighting that gave me the basis for lighting in the studio and for giving that a natural feel as well. Well, when there's too much light, we can usually find shade or find a better camera angle. But as the boys and girls began to advance in sports and we started to play games at night, which is something that most video cameras like this one absolutely hate. Adjusting to the dark will either take powerful lights or better lenses or sometimes both. Camera lenses have been almost unchanged for the last 75 years, and they're still the most expensive but effective way to capture video in low light. Sometimes you don't want more lights because the beauty of mood lighting is totally ruined by bright lights as well. For instance, I was filming a wedding at the Rosecliff Mansion in Newport, and the other videographer I was working with didn't have very good lenses. So by evening, they went around being blinded by a videographer with very bright lights on their camera. That may be fine for the 11 o'clock news, but not a high-end wedding. So when couples see my videos that look warm and natural, it's all because I've got very large lenses that need no more than a single candlelight. A professional videographer not only has to get great results day or night, but we also need to get great results from every angle. And for that, the sky is the limit. When I began to study the FAA's commercial drone license, I really had no idea it was the same as a private's pilot test, and that came directly from the 700-page FAA Private Pilot Handbook. I studied for 6 months and learned how to say Delta Romeo Oscar November Echo instead of drone. Well, I paid the $150 test fee, and figuring the hardest part was over. Little did I realize that flying a camera drone smoothly was just as hard as learning how to drive a car with a stick shift and not spilling the goldfish bowl on the roof, if you leave goldfish on the roof. However, over the last 3 years, I've logged nearly 100 hours of flight time and 2 crashes, which were lessons I won't soon forget. The fleet of drones paid for themselves within several months and have been used for criminal investigations, funeral processions, wedding celebrations, accident reconstructions, real estate, telecom, and even historic bridge documentation. Thank you, Aaron Usher. Well, now you have to remember that drones, they're noisy. They're like weed whackers in the air. And because of that, their video cameras don't have microphones. So not only does a professional videographer need to know about cameras, they need to know just as much, if not more, about sound. We have recorders on the ground while the camera is in the air, so we have the sound of the sea or the wind blowing through the trees. Sound is just as crucial. Just recently, I was given a TV commercial where the voices of the talent sounded as if they were recorded in a gymnasium. The echo was so bad that the client thought they all needed to be redone. The TV editor in Los Angeles had done everything they knew how to do, and it still wasn't enough. So they called me. After decades of audio engineering and recording, I've learned that there is nothing more important than recording clean audio. I've also learned that even the best equipment can't prevent sirens or airplanes or barking dogs or even windy days from potentially ruining an otherwise good take. These days, we have software for audio that's about as good as Photoshop is for pictures. We can remove sound warts and bad hair, and given a few hours, we had the echo essentially removed from the commercial, leaving clear dialogue and a very relieved client. So, why 4K videos? Well, with over 20 years of video production experience, we provide all of your production needs. We produce, film, edit, and release videos in a refreshing and professional environment to make your message look as good as it sounds. I'm committed to creating a warm, experienced, and professional video production company that people can look forward to doing business with. We offer timely and cost-effective, as well as considerate, alternatives to producing video in-house. A great referral is for medium to large businesses who need a vendor to partner with for their advertising, social media, and live stream internal, partner, and customer-facing communication. Thank you so much for your time today. I'm Andre Rock from 4K Videos.